Hey guys, it's Laura. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the classic Chanel Slingbacks and if they're worth it. Now, if you're a fan of Chanel and you love all of their classic items, you will be very familiar with these Slingbacks. You've seen them all over social media, Instagram. They have been around forever. I have them in the 2.5 heel height. You can also get these in a flat version. Now, I've had these shoes for about a year now, and I just wanted to revisit the shoe, give you guys a review in case you're thinking about purchasing these shoes. I know they're slingbacks, and a lot of the time people do have concerns with the slingback portion staying on their heel, so I'll get into that in a minute. But first, let's talk about the pricing and the sizing. So these are currently retailing for $1,050. They have had a couple of price increases since I purchased these. I bought these for $875 at Saks just before a price increase, and I'm not really sure why, but they had a price increase already, and for some reason they had been listed for sale at the price before that. So I just looked out because they were just under $1,000 at the time in the boutique, and then literally like the next day, a couple days after I bought these shoes, they went up to $1,000. They since have had another price increase to $1,050. Now, this is the classic beige that they come in. They also come in a black, and those are the two classic colors that you can get all of the time. These will also come in seasonal styles as well. You might be able to tell it's quite a narrow toe box, so if you do have a wider foot, you will want to size up. I sized up half a size, and I would say I have a normal foot. I usually wear a 37 and I bought a 37.5. If you have a very wide foot, you might want to size up an entire size, or you might want to skip these shoes altogether because that toe box is quite narrow. Here's the bottom. Maybe that's a better view. Another thing that I wanted to point out about the shoes, and while I did say they do have a narrow toe box, and they do, so again, if you have a wide foot, really try these shoes on before you buy them. They are leather, so it will kind of stretch out a little bit over time and get a little more comfortable if they're slightly tight. I would say if they're too tight, if it's just not a good fit, then totally skip it together. But if you have a little bit of tightness, they will mold to your feet over time, just like the espadrilles do. Now, the million-dollar question that everybody asks when it comes to slingbacks is, does this back part stay on? And for me, it usually does. So I would say out of all the slingbacks that I've bought from designers, I've bought these, I bought the ones from Dior, which I really like the look of the Dior ones. I think they're so beautiful with that ribbon detail, but those just did not stay on the heel of my foot, and they were very awkward to walk around in. These are very lightweight. They're very comfortable for me to walk around in. Even with this small heel, I find them very comfortable. They don't slide off my foot a lot. There are occasions where they might slip off, but I would say the norm is more for them to stay on. One of the things that I do is I just put it well over the back of my heel, and that usually does the trick. If they do slide down for you, something that you could do is use a clear piece of double-sided fashion tape, stick that on the back of the shoe and your heel, and that might help give it a little more traction so that it doesn't come off. But for the most part, it stays on my foot pretty well. I would say if I was walking really, really fast, maybe they might slide off more, but honestly, I'm kind of a speed walker. I walk with intention, and they do a good job of staying on. This back part also is pretty comfortable for me. Even though it is leather, it is lightweight, so I've never had a blister. I've never had like rubbing or chafing from it. I could see that if this stretchy part here, this elastic here, starts to stretch out a lot over time, where they might slide off a lot more. But again, I've had these for a year now, and they're pretty good about staying on. So if that's a concern for you, they're not 100% perfect. I mean, they are slingbacks. They occasionally do slide down, but for the most part, I would say 90% of the time, they stay on my foot. If you're interested to know where the shoes are made, they're made in Italy, and they have that stamp right there. And then another cute detail is you have the double C on the bottom of the heel there, which is just a cute little logo. It's not too noticeable. And on my pair, it does come in the gold hardware. Now, I did want to show you a quick color comparison between the beige Claire, because I know a lot of people buy these shoes to match bags, and this is a classic beige. So let's put them side by side. I would say this is a little bit more yellow. This has more of a pink undertone. I feel like with the beige Claire, the color can vary a little bit from bag to bag. I think it also can vary if you have a lambskin bag versus a caviar bag. I have seen caviar beige Clairs that are a little bit more of a yellow undertone that would go better with this. So if it's really important for you to match a bag, I would get the bag first and then bring it in to match the shoe. I mean, they're far apart enough, you know, the bag sits higher up on the body, the shoe is obviously on your foot, that I don't think it would clash very much, and I think it would be fine. But if you do want a perfect match, then definitely bring your bag in when you're buying the shoes to compare side by side. Now, are these shoes worth the money? That is really a subjective question. I think they're very, very expensive shoes. They do go through a lot of price increases quite frequently. If you're looking for a slingback but you don't really care about Chanel or a brand name, then I would say no, go for another slingback. If you really want a Chanel classic shoe, then I think they're a great buy. Compared to other designer slingbacks, I think they're the better pick. They're more comfortable. Again, if you have a wider foot, you might want to skip these shoes altogether because they will pinch you in the toe box if you have a wider foot. If you have a narrow to normal foot, I would say check them out. But they're definitely shoes that you want to try on in person before you purchase. If you're buying them new, you have to buy them from a department store that carries Chanel or a boutique. You can't buy them online. But I know a lot of people do like to buy pre-loved shoes, and if you're looking at a pre-loved pair, then make sure you go into a boutique and try them on because you might not be your regular size. So for me, I'm very happy I bought them when I did. I'm happy that I was able to get them for a lower price than even the current retail price at the time. I, again, would probably add another pair, maybe a black pair in the flat or in a seasonal color. So to me, they were worth it. I would say out of all the Chanel shoes that I've bought, these have been the best purchase. I am interested in possibly adding some espadrilles as well, but when it comes to Chanel shoes, I bought seasonal shoes, and while I like them, I think it's better to stick to the classics if you're trying to curate like a capsule designer collection that will last you throughout the years. All right, guys, well, that is it for this video. Let me know if you have any other questions in the comments below. I tried to cover pretty much anything that I could think of, but I know that you may have other questions yourself, so let me know. I'm happy to answer any of your questions. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing to my channel. I know a lot of you who come back to watch my videos aren't subscribed, and if you find my videos helpful or informative or entertaining, please consider giving them a like and a subscribe and joining my luxury posse. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!